let's turn our attention to a more southern region of America, and that is Dallas, Texas. We'll talk about the Dallas Cowboys and their, dazzling, tantalizing win against the Commanders 44-22. And we went on a lot about Baker and his MVP-ness, I suppose, last week. Maybe it's time we put Dak in that spotlight as well, because Dak Prescott is playing at an unreal level at the minute. Dak's back. Dak's back. That's it. That's the headline there. Dak is back. He's second in yards, second in touchdowns, 1,881, 16 touchdowns. He's not turning the ball over, which is brilliant. He's only had 3. He's second in first downs, second in yards per game, only 8 sacks. He is the George Pickens thing's worked. It's worked. Pickens has worked. And I was, as a Steeler fan, it is very frustrating, but also I know when you light the fuse of George Pickens that it may explode at some point. So I'm not quite all bought in on all of the sunshine and rainbows of George Pickens in Dallas. But he is what we said he was. He's probably one of the best number 2s out there. And when you're behind CD Lamb, any wide receiver is going to be number 2, because CD Lamb is also playing a wide receiver 1 level as well. Well, I say wide receiver 1 level, as in the one, the only one, the best one in the NFL. He is playing a crazy level as well. It's been a very weird season for them. 24-20 in that opener. The overtime, 2 times they've been to overtime. Beating the Giants and then drawing, terrible drawing, with your Green Bay Packers 40-40. But this offense is so high-powered. It's so fun to watch. And for all the stick that Schottenheimer was getting at the start of the season, we said that he probably won them hot seat coaches. He's making this work. He's doing very, very, very well.
He's doing all right. I don't really know much about who is he.
You can't say all right. You can't.
Is he calling the plays? Is he calling the offensive plays?
Unsure. And apologies if you can hear my water pouring, but
I'm not. I don't know if he is or not. That's the thing. I think offensively they are doing very well, but defensively they are appalling, and so therefore they're doing all right. Sort of thing. That's kind of where we're at with the Cowboys. It's a really funny thing. This will make no sense to any Americans probably, and I apologise. It might make sense to you, but I'll go with it. I was watching a bit of the Gary Neville podcast after the Man United Liverpool game. And they were talking, him and Jamie Carragher were coming out talking about, you never want your team to be that entertaining, because that means you don't win anything. And that's how I kind of feel about the Cowboys. They were talking about Liverpool. Carragher, Liverpool, ex-Liverpool player, talking about Liverpool and how you don't want to be that entertaining, because if you're that entertaining, it means that you're winning games as well as losing them. Whereas for what you want to be is you want to be steady, in control, know what's going on, get over the line every time kind of thing. And it does kind of remind me of the Cowboys a little bit, because the thing is, they're doing well. The offense is doing very well. Dak is playing very well. I think I think because of what's other people, I don't have him as an MVP candidate.
How can't you? How can't you? Because he's putting up with the plays he's making. How can you not?
Because they're not winning games. They're winning some games.
That's not his fault. Joe Burrow last season, we said,
didn't win the MVP.
But he was in the conversation the whole time, and then we all said, "Oh, it was the defense who was letting him down." So why isn't Dak in that MVP conversation then?
Well, I think you can have him in the conversation, but when I say I don't have him in the conversation, what I mean is he's not going to win the MVP.
Okay.
So that's why I don't have him in the conversation, because I'll just come out and go, "Well, the team's lose." This is the problem. It's not wholly done on the single performance of the person, is it? This is the issue.
but it should be because it's the most valuable player.
But it
Like
never
that's
has
what it
been.
is. Well, yeah, well, that's NFL's, but they trade Mike Parsons to you guys. Everyone goes, all right, okay. I admit their defense is not great, but they're first in quarterback hurries, they're third in quarterback knockdowns, they've got 15 sacks, second in quarterback pressures. They seem to be doing pretty okay without Micah Parsons in town. The secondary is rubbish. The secondary is really bad. I admit that, but
yeah,
they made some good. They made the right move now. Surely, getting
so
rid of Micah, got in them picks.
whoa, really? Do you think so?
They
Do you
made the
think
right
getting rid
move.
of him was the right move?
They
If anything, you could argue the offense.
they're still putting pressure on the quarterback. They're still doing the pressure on the quarterback without him there.
But they're giving up so many points.
But that's the secondary.
Yeah, I understand it's the secondary, but I feel like you could argue they would be better with him in the team on the defense.
Every team would be better with Micah Parsons in. Let's get that out of the way. Firstly, every team would be better with Micah Parsons. But what I'm saying is the move they made with trading him away, getting the picks that they got back.
Yes,
That has
which
been
they can't use yet.
That has been a success though, because they've not seen a downgrade in terms of the pressure that they are putting on the quarterback. Their secondary was crap last year with Micah.
Yeah, no, I understand that. I think that just having him out there would create more trouble than what they're creating now. I understand what you're saying about the pressures and stuff like that. I get the statistics of it. I feel like they would be better off with him out there. Because I think although they're putting pressure on the quarterbacks, I think there's more chance that he gets sacks and causes more disruption. And maybe he didn't last year. Maybe there was a performance drop off because he was frustrated about what was going on there and all of that sort of thing, and he wasn't playing. Maybe he's playing better now than what he was. I don't know. I haven't seen that, but I kind of feel like the defense would be better off with him out there. And if you've got the offense playing like this, why would you give that up? That's what feels a little bit odd.
What I'm trying to find is what Sky said earlier in our group chat regarding this. Regarding where was it? Here we go. Dak Prescott has now has thrown at least 3 touchdowns without an interception in 4 consecutive games. Other quarterbacks do that. Russell Wilson in 2015, Drew Brees in 2019, Rodgers in 2014, Manning in 2013-14, Brady in 2007. MVP candidate.
Right. I know it's not all about betting, but you're dealing with me, so deal with it, okay?
Dealing with the dealer, some may say.
Exactly. So if you look at the betting for it, these little buggers, they know a lot more than what we do, and they put the odds out as they are for a reason. There is 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 quarterbacks in the betting ahead of Dak Prescott.
Give me the 10. Give me the 10.
So from favorite Mahomes, Josh Allen, Baker Mayfield, Drake May, Matthew Stafford.
Little slower for me. So Mahomes, yes.
Mahomes, Allen.
No, not at the minute.
Mayfield.
Yeah.
May.
No.
Stafford.
Yeah.
Goff.
Yeah.
You'll like this one. Daniel Jones.
No.
Jordan Love.
No, that's unfair. Daniel Jones is playing at an MVP level. Yes, he is. Yeah.
Jordan Love.
No, not playing at an MVP level.
Lamar Jackson.
No.
Jalen Hurts.
No.
Then Dak.
I just think, admittedly, that is for end of season. I get that. But currently, right now, the bracket is Mahomes, Mayfield, Jones, him. And then Stafford sort of on the peripheral. I mean, I am a little bit in firm belief you can't spell MVP without MAYE, but that's just shout out to our boy Sky.
That's
So.
yeah. I was going to say that can't be something that you thought up. That's got to be a Sky thing, surely.
No, I mean, I actually just made that up right on the spot
Oh.
right now, which is quite impressive of me. But I do I do adore Drake, mate, admittedly. But
I think Dak is playing really, really well, and the offense is doing great, and it's actually only going to get better now because CD Lamb's back. So that's only going to improve.
what if they go out before the deadline and they get someone in a corner or safety, let's say?
I think they need more than one person.
I agree, but it could be the spark.
If it improves, I think the thing is look, the reason that Daniel Jones is ahead of Dak in the betting is because Daniel Jones is on a team that is currently 6-1 and looks like a team that, if they keep going, has the potential to really kick on and be maybe not the number one seed, but certainly a very high sort of like
They'll win the division.
division.
They'll win the
Yeah,
division.
but the thing is, if you just keep winning, because you're playing against teams that aren't as great, because where they finished last year, they're a bit lower, so they don't play the rankings and all that. If they play teams that aren't as great and you just keep winning games, you could end up with a bit of a Tennessee Titans situation from about 4 or 5 years ago, where you end up with them randomly hitting the number one seed. That means something. And that's the problem. I understand what you're saying, but it's just the way that the MVP award is given out. It's not just a stats thing, because if it was just a stats thing, like you say, Joe Burrow would have won it last year.
Yeah.
But he didn't.
When you look a little bit further down their schedule, it is tough viewing. Admittedly, they're at the Broncos next week. Tough game. They beat the Cardinals. Then bye week, they've got the Raiders. They'll beat the Raiders. I think they'll give the Eagles a really close game, to be honest with you. The way the Eagles are playing, if they continue what they're doing, I think that could be a really, really close game. The Chiefs, they look like they're really kicking on now. The Lions look like they're kicking on. The Vikings, winnable game. Chargers, I think it's a winnable game for them at that point. Commanders, winnable game. Giants, winnable game. I just think I just think that the end of last year, we wouldn't have said that the Cowboys would have a sniff at well, would we say they would have a sniff at the wild card spot this year with Schottenheimer, new coach? I don't think we would have said that, and I think they now comfortably get into the wild card spot. And you've got to see that as a success. Year one coach, you've got to see that as a big success.
Yeah, as a year one coach, that would be a success. I don't think they get there. I think the Eagles will win the division. I mean, who else is there? Because I think you're going to have one of the Lions and the Packers aren't going to get in, obviously, as the winning one. So I think there'll be a wild card. We were just speaking about the Bears earlier, where it kind of feels a bit like where they could have potentially get in.
Yeah, but you look. The NFC South, I think, by the time it all is said and done, Tampa are the only team that go through there. You potentially you get what, 3 teams out of the West? How many wildcard spots is there? Give me a second here. 3.
So at the moment,
only takes you guys to whittle off a little bit though, or the Lions, or maybe the Seahawks or the Niners.
I just don't. I don't see enough that when you look at it. So at the moment, you've got the Bucks, the Packers, 49ers, and Eagles. I think the Eagles win their division. I think the Bucks win their division. The Packers and the 49ers are the ones that could switch. But I would argue that even if they do switch, you've got the Lions and you've got the Seahawks and you've got the Rams. And that's your 7.
If that keeps playing MVP level, you never know.
I think that's where the problem comes in. I think you've got too many good teams, and I don't think they get there. And if they, well, I mean, look, if they don't get there, then he's definitely not winning it. But I think even if they get there, they're going to come up against one of the better teams, and they're done. So he doesn't win it then. That's the problem. I think they take what happens to the team into account as well, and it's not just all about the stat. Probably should be, but there you go.